little better here, Sims.
I damn well hope so, because the last place and a 15th place, this is not the phase that we are used to seeing.
There's nowhere to go but up for them.
Well, there is that, yeah. I suppose.
22 points. They are at the bottom of our standings. Pittsburgh Knights at 44.
So let's kind of just take that number for a second, and we look at Space Station Gaming with 2 wins back-to-back. 561 now. What you got to remember is we're now in game number 3.
Yep. We
are already, let me get my math right here before I completely ball this up, 25% way through the competition. This is quite a short competition. 12 games isn't a lot compared to, 3-day events, so to speak. That you're looking at 18, 20, even 25 we've seen at a certain event before.
Yep.
Where games, again, we have more in PUBG to kind of negate any kind of RNG, get a little bit unlucky, so to speak. Back-to-back, 15 and 16 placings. I don't want to say, oh, it's just a little bit unlucky, a little bit about rotation. Things happen, you got to brush it off. FaZe are that kind of team, and Poro touched it on the desk, that will happily turn things around and they'll just get like 3 first-place finishes in a row. Anything's possible with this roster. Does he see that shifts right in front of him?
Get warmed up a little bit. Whoa! Going for those. Going for the bounty vehicle kills.
I like this banner.
Presumably.
Just having a chat.
Going for a little drive.
Having a talk.
A little drive in PUBG. A little bit of honking back and forth.
Do you think he's saying au revoir as he goes away?
I think they're like, all right, I'm going to Power. I'm going to Milta. You guys, we'll see you later, maybe.
And they got the circle.
Look at that circle, way in the bottom right.
Right.
Yep.
This FaZe and Vitality have been given a circle.
Finally.
Let's see how this one pans out. They're now going to be on home turf. They don't necessarily have to do anything different. They can loot where they drop. Obviously, they did drop. They have to make their way now and transition across because of the vehicles. But they can sit here. They can sit here for a hell of a long time. They can get geared out of their minds. They can completely take the entirety of that East Coast area. They can do mill to power. They can do mini mill to power. They can even go down to kind of the really edge of the coastline.
Yep.
Teams who may have a little bit of a difficulty looking at Alliance, for example, because Vitality could potentially, if they know that Alliance are going to be dropping here, they could set up a bridge camp. Right. It's possible. We've seen it before at competition level. C9 are going to be the ones that cause people problems here, in my opinion, because they're spread out so sporadic across kind of the eastern edge of that circle. That road is completely locked down by 4 individual members. You're going to be kind of running a gauntlet if you do go across that road. There is only... You've got like 2 main roads here. The big one that goes directly from north to south and just cuts from Yasnaya straight down onto Millie Island across the bridge, the really big thick one. And then you do have, of course, this one that comes in from left to right, edge of the circle, coming across from the coastal road.
Yep.
And pretty much all meet in Milta. This is where everyone's going to be meeting up, and it's Vitality, the French boys, who are on home turf. So you got to be careful.
And you got to know, these guys... They've been around the block in this PUBG game, Player Unknown Battlegrounds. So you got to know that Vitality, they've dropped here so many times. So you got to think, okay, they've probably had many situations where they've set up some bridge scouting or they set up some bridge camping a little bit. So you got to think they might have a strategy in mind to deal with whoever might come from military. And in this case, that is Alliance. So we'll keep an eye on that story as it develops through here. The furthest teams away from this zone are NRG, Dignitas, NV, FlyQuest. In the top side of the map here. So they're going to have the longest distance to traverse in order to get down to the bottom. And I also like the Knights here. They're a team, they're second to last, FaZe is last. I know, if you're just now tuning in to the PUBG Pan-Continental, I didn't think I'd be saying that today. FaZe is last, Knights is second to last. Knights is qualified for, a pretty big tournament coming up in Berlin. So, there's statements to be made here. But Knights here spreading out in the zone. We got Voxic at prison, and then all spread out, really getting some nice looting going. But of course, they've got to be aware and really make sure they have their timing right to converge when they need to. But one guy at Mansion, one guy at prison, one guy at Lipovka. So I just like how the Knights are really spread out and really getting a lot of looting done, and they're also right in the zone. So I feel like that might pan out well for them.
It also denies anyone like the ability to arrive in the circle and take kind of point on these locations, because I mean this one I would, if I was a betting man, I mean we're in Vegas anyway, so why not?
Yeah.
But you would expect this circle to shift north. So if you're going to kind of want to play the numbers, Sig's already going to cross, as we've just noticed down there. So Alliance have at least kind of Siggy's been the initial one to sacrifice himself and just go sit over at the
I like
gas
that.
station. Yeah, it's good because he allows the rest of his team to turn up. He's
And to make sure that camp isn't there, right?
Exactly, so he can do that. But just kind of speaking about, we're having a chat about Vitality. I mean, you've been in this business for a hell of a long time. You've looked across many different games. When a team goes to a major event, batters everybody. Everyone knows they're going to be good. They are good. They live up to their reputation. They take the medal. They take the trophy. And I'm speaking about IEM Oakland here.
Yep.
And then doesn't really do too much from there. Do you think it speaks about thinking, okay, well, we're not going to change anything and just kind of play by this and everyone else gets better?
Yeah, maybe. And, you know, you talk about all the patches that happen too, with adjustments made in the meta, just lots of things can happen in between events. So some people can be hot and some people not. And I think that's one of the remarkable things about events like this in you know, competitive video games in general. Space Station, out of nowhere, boom, they win rounds 1 and 2. It can happen. Anything can happen. So, yeah, to your point, I mean, getting a win for Vitality early on at Oakland, that's got to be great for confidence. I know it's the C word we've been hearing all day today so far. It's very important. It would behoove them to really maybe try to get back in that mindset when those winning waves were happening and try to translate that into some success here. But again, the good news for Vitality, they're very deep in that zone, and now we're starting to see movement here across the map. And again, I love that move from Sigzy from Alliance, getting across that bridge, kind of just scout out and make sure there's nothing going on the other side of that, so that they're not vulnerable. But at the same time, I am a little bit surprised that Vitality wasn't kind of watching the bridge just to see if anyone was going to sneak over. So a little bit surprised about that as we see. There's your Groza. 8 times as well, and of course that level 3 helmet that everyone loves from Shadow is going to snag that from Vitality.
He had a Can 98 on his back as well, so that's just upgraded the Can 98 to a nasty long-range weapon. The 8 times on the back of it. Rafi's turning up. He'll be calling out to Method now, boys, don't go near them two. We got some shooters in the window, so he's going to continue through. But again, the gauntlet begins because look who's waiting.
Yeah.
Shiv lays the hammer. Do we see any blood? Nope. Gets away clean. 100% health. Happy days. But MTG are also on the rotation. But he's found himself the compound. He's gone to the garage. No one's home. Happy days. Can tell the rest of Method to move in now. But everyone's rotating. Look at the Knights. They're actually moving into face territory. I like this. This is a ballsy play.
Yeah, and they pretty much know that they're there. They didn't have the honking exchanges in the early part of the game as Vitality and FaZe did. But Knights could pretty much guess that FaZe would be in that Milta area. That's usually where they go. So just jetting down that road as fast as they can and just trying to get to the coast as fast as possible. Maybe get some looting done down there. And I guess they are getting some intel when they're getting shot out from FaZe, so they kind of know where the various team members are.
It's going. This is a play for position, is this? Because you can kind of bank on where the circle's going to be going. So playing for that edge, taking the rocks. There's so many defilators. The whole thing's like a trench.
Just make sure there's no one behind you. That's what they're doing right now.
It's obviously war, isn't it? There's nothing. I mean, the war's a killer in itself, but it's not going to kill you when you're up on land.
Yep.
It's a good position. It's a play per position. I like it. You might potentially. I mean, they've got good loot routes, and they went to their home territory, so you'd expect them to be fairly well geared. The question is, will we see Sigzy take this this engagement against? I think it was Monkey that was next.
Yeah, that's
to
Monkey.
him.
Yep, they're very close to each other. I don't know if they can hear each other's steps just yet.
That'd be brutal if Vitality lost one so early on.
It could happen. Or keep a close eye on that. There you see across the bridge. We see Space Station. They are the Navy.
I'm trying to think of a tune to go with it, but I can't.
Here we go. Awesome camera shot. Shout out to our observer.
I'd assume this is the Skyline special. Give me a nod, Skyline, if it's you.
Finding 4 boats.
No, it's not. It's Will.
The Navy of Space Station. It's not rockets in the air. It's power boats in the water. For Space Station, as they head on over to the center of the circle, we'll see where they go from there. A little bit of shots exchanged here. Looks like there we go. That's the battle you're talking about earlier. It's Monkey against Sigzy, and T-Bone trying to come over and reinforce. And actually, the entirety of Alliance is kind of in this area. So Vitality really has to make sure to stay honest and responsible with what's going on here, because potential major firefight happening. And just like that, Sigzy dropped, and he's going to be calling for his teammates to come help him out.
The thing is, for Vitality, why would you even bother pushing this one now? They're not going to run into them. They're not going to go crash them and try and res Monkey.
Leave him.
Monkey's dead. He's dead and gone. There's nothing they can do. They might be able to get a pick, but
first blood, I think. Probably.
You're so separated there. All you're going to do is just offer yourself up and sacrifice yourself to Vitality if you do want to make a push on it. So the man from Huddersfield takes down the Frenchman. Ooh, this is interesting. So FaZe again, another team. Look at Mex. He's already been tagged up. NRG pushing hard on them. He will fall back. He's got his teammate with there. Where the rest of FaZe? Are they up in the Up in the login hills, yes, I think one per, yeah, 2 of them are actually up on the top of the hillside there.
Okay, I see that, yeah. I wonder if they're going to take this. I mean, I'd be a little surprised if they
need to stick with that fight. I really do.
You think FaZe should try to stick it to NRG here? Okay, I feel a little bit nervous about it, but confidence. We're talking about it. When you make that decision, you got to go and you got to be authoritative about it, and that's what FaZe is going to try to do here. As they're coming in from the right-hand side and from the left. I love that, the cover fire from the hill, which enables FaZe to loop around from the right-hand side as well and try to sandwich in, but just like that, this is NRG, man. We saw them in that first round. I think they're up to 13 kills in the first round. They can lay down the firepower. So that's why I was a little bit nervous for FaZe trying to take a fight against NRG with how strong they've been today.
If he gets this over the house, if he gets this will be absolutely a massive. He doesn't, he just falls short. But look at how tanked up they are.
Missed it there.
They're so damaged. All of them are like 5 HP.
You run in there, you just run in there,
look at
take him out. What's the plan? What's the play? They got to try to pick up their teammates, perhaps.
I'd go for the kills first, honestly, I would. I'd go try and take them out. Because
throw a grenade to the door. I mean,
they're waiting on it. They use him as bait, so at least get the smoke so they can back him off. His teammates can't come to help them out, but now they're getting the resin themselves on both sides.
Yeah, they're going to pick him up.
I didn't realize 2 were down on FaZe.
Yeah.
Good lord, this is
so tense right now. And again, 16 teams still up, and both these teams are aware of it. And FaZe and NRG, 2 potential favorites, coming in, arguably. It's interesting that FaZe is really taking this fight. A little bit of confidence there. Really feeling like they can be successful. NRG, oh no! He was trying to sneak into the house to get rezzed, but a grenade saying no, not going to happen.
Looking good for FaZe so far. They've picked up 2, and now they're going to be weak. We have to move on to another engagement himself. It's going to be Texas, who's knocked.
Oh,
SSG,
Navy.
They've landed on the beachhead. Look at FaZe, though. Here comes the sweep. They want this one. All 4 members moving as a solid unit.
Smokes there.
It would take something formidable to win this 2 versus 4.
Yeah. I mean, and grenades must be on standby here for FaZe.
To be fair, they did
the
throw
frag variety.
They did throw a ton of them, didn't they? So they might be down on them.
Yeah, we'll see. That would be the first thing to do here. And I guess they don't have any because they're not throwing anything through this door. Trying to get some shots on there on the Snark. He's watching that doorway, but FaZe able to get in there, and that's going to be it. NRG knocked out by FaZe. I was a little bit nervous in the beginning when they're like, all right, when it looks like they're gonna take the fight because of how strong NRG has been today. But just like that, FaZe, maybe that's exactly what they need to get back into this tournament.
Andy, are you okay, mate? Just fallen off a bike or a hill or something. Knocked himself out. NRG, not really good.
Yeah.
3, you see what I did there? NRG, not really good.
Okay,
yeah,
that's clever.
For a game 16.
Well done. I don't know how long
C9
you took on that one.
They're dying.
Yeah.
Woody's gone. VZ
Interesting
again.
position there. That's like the most exposed place you can be in.
Wait, Alliance have actually, I didn't realize they've lost T-Bone. Okay, so they've lost one in engagement earlier on. C9 have lost one. We've already seen Vitality loot. Speaking of Vitality,
yeah,
as soon as I say his name, they're
we're about to see that feed. I feel like with a lot of activity here because
this is so messy.
This is a testament to the circle. I mean, our analysts were talking about it earlier. It's a harder circle, and everyone's kind of scrambling to get to this spot, get to the lower right as it keeps crunching down into the bottom right of this map.
He gets up through the window.
I've made one of those before.
There was an attempt.
I've made some LeBron shots.
Now it's in. Bye-bye.
There it is. Shiv down from Vitality. Is that 2 down from Vitality?
That's 2 down. There's also a 3rd one there's going to be 1 up now. Literally Shadow on his own. But he has got the level 3 gear, remember, in the Groza. This Groza needs to...
Oh, he's right there!
He just absolutely
that was unlucky. That was
a
little unlucky there, He just looked at the wrong millisecond.
I disagree. He should have pre-fight. He should have literally just gone for it.
Oh, really?
Like,
yeah. He's coming. Just shoot the gun. You know he's
coming.
Groza
in a 3 times kit. You've got a helmet. You've got body. You're up close and personal. You should be winning that fight. I'm sorry, but that's...
And you're hearing his steps out there in the room as well, I'm sure.
Missing that shot, you deserve 15th. I'm sorry, but that's not good.
All right, we'll see if they can regroup from that. And that Groza, that's a nice weapon to have. So
because there won't be much damage done as well, so the level 3 in the chest should also be a nice pickup. That's a good kill for them.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what they want. Christmas morning, call it what you want, but a gift there. And an unfortunate situation on the other side. So going forward here, we're down to 14 teams with 2 out, including NRG. And this circle, a lot of it is on water sims, and that's going to make the playing field even more constricted here.
We'll see if we can get the observers to move the map feed slightly so people can get a little bit of a glimpse on that. But wait a minute, Profi, Turtle, they've been knocked simultaneously, so 2 will fall there for Team Envious. Excuse me, Team Ghost. Excuse me, Envy are fancying this one, and they're pressing the situation.
Yeah, and, you know, that's, again, I think that's one of those teams where we're really looking out for Envy to make some noise. And Ghost, another one, too. Envy taking, we saw them taking those shots at Ghost. Right now, we're looking at Team Gates, though. Looks like they're firing in a number of different directions. They got Dignitas down to the bottom left. Punage from FlyQuest. He might be the last one up from FlyQuest. Or no, actually, no, the rest of the team's coming forward. That confused me for a second. FlyQuest trying to make their way in, actually going past Team Gates. To get to this point, but Optic also in the area as well, and Envy coming in from the north. We're about to see about 5 or 6 teams engaging here. Ghost, Envy, Optic, FlyQuest, Dignitas, Team Gates, all in the same area.
This is like a welcome pie. You've literally got Optic and
like,
another team on the opposing side. They're like, the gates are open. I mean, that's a good dink. This is keeping them back at least. This helps out another one. So Hetra will play kind of spoiler to what was set up originally, but this will also keep Envious outside the blue. So
yeah, it's tricky. Decision time.
It's going to do damage. It's not the massive damage beater just yet, but it's certainly going to do enough that they have to move. They can't stay for too long, or they're all going to die.
Yeah. I mean,
they just got so lucky. They're so close to the next circle.
There's a lot of cover in this area with trees and whatnot near this prison area. A little bit of high ground, too, on the hill. So maybe they can use that to their advantage. They definitely know FlyQuest is there, and I don't know if FlyQuest knows that they are there.
Look at the lumber mill. I think you got 3 teams in there, FlyQuest, Optic, and Dignitas, so all going to be a fight for the lumber. Thankfully, Envious for them. The circle obviously has gone their way, so they're on the slow side. TGR between them and the circle, though. So again, they can be gate kept back. Ghost are going to hit Optic. They need to be very, very careful as they do approach this one. There's only 2 members of them alive. Down in the bottom, though, Milta, 1, 2, 3, 4 teams, SSG. You've got Alliance. You've got a member of TG. He's actually split up from the rest of his boys there. Down at the bottom. So
as far away as he could possibly be.
That's your emergency backup. If the rest of TG die, he's going to be able to try and save the day. Tempo Storm inside Mini Mill to power. Jempty onto Optic. FaZe and Optic, you've heard this one before in many different esports. Here it goes again as he takes out Hetra. Nice kill from Jempty, more than likely been the scout there.
And Optic, I'm curious. I'm so curious about this move from Optic. They're moving pretty quickly through this zone. And just like that, losing 1 to FaZe. Meanwhile, Envy desperately trying to make it into the zone. They're not getting hurt by the gas right now, but Team Gates knows that they're there. They're taking those shots. And Envy just trying to find any room, any window whatsoever to find a way into this zone. But Team Gates and FlyQuest, they're pretty much sandwiching them. So I'm a little bit nervous for Envy right now. It's almost a 1v2 situation. Dignitas could be Envy's savior if Dignitas can swoop in and take care of FlyQuest, but a very technical, tricky moment here for Envy in the north side of this map.
2 members of Optic, unfortunately, have fallen down. Just seen another one come out from Dignitas, who takes him out inside that little Harry Potter tower. Meanwhile, I did just see, I think it was Fuzzface from FaZe.
Yeah.
Just fall victim as well. So
Tempo
he'll be
Storm
knocked.
taking shots.
I think do FaZe still have 4? Yeah, they do. It's still have 4 up at the moment, especially if they manage to get Fuzz up. But again, they've had 2 knocks now, which is rather unfortunate. And I think does Fuzz have it? Yeah, he's got a teammate with him, but they are getting hit really hard from Tempo from behind.
And now we're seeing Caden keeping a close eye.
This boy can snipe.
Like FlyQuest.
Don't let me down now, I've said it, but this boy can snipe like
There's no way anyone peeks through that window. They know he's there. Jesse knocked down, and again, this is tricky. Team Gates still taking shots at Envy from the right-hand side. FlyQuest just under them, as you can see right there. Caden trying to get a shot off, but Jesse is down, so I'll have to see if Envy can deal with this. And let's see who presses the issue. FlyQuest, they're kind of just sticking in their area right there on that tower. A couple vehicles there as well, but no sense of urgency necessarily for them to really go anywhere, as we can see. They're kind of just chilling.
Venerated and Caden, I like what they're doing. They're getting ahead of the game here. So they know that that's exactly like FlyQuest, they have to move as well. Okay. And they're going to roll into them. So they're going to get ahead of the game, wait for them, potentially gatekeep them back. Jesse's back up. The rest of Envious can follow through. It's a great play. Yeah. FlyQuest are currently, focused and vexated so much and so heavily on the knock that they've got. Envious have managed to just disconnect and disengage from this battle altogether.
Yeah, and FlyQuest maybe, I don't know, it's just they're in one place, right? And they're not really willing to move. If they wanted to take down Envy there while they're in the gas, they had an opportunity to take down 2. There was a 4v2 situation, but they were just staying still, staying patient, maybe staying super safe right now for FlyQuest, which Envy certainly benefiting from as they're able to sneak away over the left-hand side of this zone and trying to get back in there. But now Dignitas has a very close eye, as we can see, onto Envy. They definitely know where they are. And that's a Car 98 with the 6x scope, so plenty of ability to make some mayhem happen there. from Dignitas. So Dignitas, they know where Envy is, and I feel like they know where FlyQuest is as well. So they're setting themselves up nicely as the circle goes all the way to the south and Knight's in the middle.
And look who moved first.
They're
look
there.
which team moved and played the game. They says, all right, we've got a rough idea where this circle's going to go. At least we can get ahead of the pack. We can get ahead of this game. It's paid off for them. That early rotation has paid off dividends because they're now smack bang dead center. Method next door to FaZe. All 4 members of FaZe up going into this circle. But there's a lot of people like that. That's the story of this circle altogether. Look at how many we got. 14 teams, 46 people. Rotations coming through. Bullets hitting the deck.
Okay.
Totality do have to get out of this one. And they got TG on the 3 stack in front of them.
Yeah, as you mentioned, 14 teams up. As a lot of movement happening here. Looks like Totality driving straight through the door into the building there.
Keeps your ties alive. They
yeah,
can't shoot them.
there's a nice little strategy. Don't try that at home, I guess. But hey, if you're trying to evade that danger, that's one way to do it. As we see Team Gates trying to head on down into a better location. Tempo Storm looks like only 2 up for them. Taking shots everywhere. They got a nice position, got some good high ground here, and they're just looking every which way and just taking some pot shots, trying to get some kills. They got a knock on to FaZe a little bit earlier, not able to finish off that kill though. But Tempo Storm in a great position. But look at this, Cloud9 sneaking in. I believe they came from the beach, from the water, actually laying down some damage.
Smashed him through the face. Frolic is down and out. Unfortunately, it reels back onto Drayden here.
Wait, by the way, Cloud9 is super split up.
Yeah, they always are. It's a weird thing that they do, but it's just how they seem to play. I'm personally not a massive fan of it, but
yeah,
you know, whatever's your game plan.
Okay, here we go. The blue is coming in, which means we're seeing a lot of movement. So FlyQuest, they're sneaking on the right-hand side. They're kind of split up a little bit, trying to find a... We have Sharky, look like he's trying to scout, trying to find a spot in. Right now we're seeing Team Gates, though, taking shots at these FlyQuest members. And are they going to be successful?
Nice headshot.
It seems like good shots, but really not connecting as well as he would like.
Microsoft
one down, yeah, one down there for Microsoft. They're getting shot
he should move back now. Now he's dead. He should move back into the smoke and let him get the res off here. He was looking for the informational to give him cover, but they could probably... He's just been saved by that third-party system. Gemty, Can, Anti-8 comes in onto Steezy B. Mexian with a follow-up as well. That's the M4 with the kill. Confirmed 7 points in the bag there for FaZe Clan. Few kills now. It's a minimum of at least 6 I know they have as Envious. They're working their way into the circle. Yeah. The rotation's going to be there. They catch one. No, he doesn't see him.
See him now.
I'm stunned.
Yeah, there it goes. Envy, though.
This is going to hurt.
Someone getting dropped, and that's... What great movement, though, from Envy. Really being patient. No, he's down. Jesse's yelling, "Res me, bro!" I mean, Caden's like, "You know what, man? We're in the gas. I don't know if it's gonna work."
He's so screwed here. There's not really a great deal of place he can go. He just needs to run into it and just hope that he finds some sort of defilade, something that he can work with. I mean, if he can get them up, this is fair play, but you get the rest of us. No, he's like, no, I need to run. Yeah. Oh, Caden.
Caden against the world here.
Your death awaits, my friend.
Hey, you know what? It's possible. He's got some good.
Vexel surely knows.
He's got some good firepower, and we're always going to be keeping a close eye on Space Station here, as he's
dink.
If you're just now tuning in to our PUBG Pan-Continental, we have 12 rounds total Saturday and Sunday, and Space Station has won the first 2. Won the first 2 of our competition here, and trying to make it a third.
And as we say that, SSG do end Envious's run here.
Yep.
In game number 3. Totality between a rock and a hard place. Several teams in front of them. One of those being SSG, which is rather unfortunate because they're currently your 2 times back-to-back game winners. They have a nice position as well on the hill. They're still inside the circle, so they can lock this one down. Totality, though, they're rotating into them. They want this fight. They're not going to go away from this one. They know they have to go forward. Yeah. Kramer inside. You'd expect him as well with the AUG to potentially have the level 3 helmets, but it's actually H-Win, you know, Smithy with the scan, the headshot. So that's the door open there.
Okay. Yeah, and oh no, can this be it for Space Station in round 3? Can the Titans finally be knocked out? I think that's 2 down there from Space Station, and Totality coming in hot, pressing the issue, showing that confidence, and doing a great job there.
Oh wait, Ghost is upstairs.
Yeah, there's one, I think one member of Ghost, just McCoy.
It confused me with the bars. I thought it was all the same team.
Yeah, it's tricky because the same color there between Ghost and Space Station.
Flash aim.
Definitely knows he's in there at this point.
Thinks he's downstairs though, right?
I think so. I think he knows he's downstairs. He's also got a crate right there. Oh, I guess he thought he was upstairs. Hey, you know what? Just playing it safe. Just playing it safe.
Why not? Gem tip, can it again. Rafi unfortunately falls victim to that one. That's going to be a headshot coming through. Reels also
Dignitas
gets the blunt end of phase. Molman as well, back to back onto Kaint. That's the knock and the kill confirmed. 7 points, 30 players alive, 12 teams still remaining on Civil. Adam, about 10 HP, maybe even 5 in a dream, hoping for a grenade comes through. He just killed himself.
You know, Dignitas really tried to make a massive move.
Okay. Maybe he did it to deny points. Maybe he knew what were coming. It could have been a tactical kill. Anyway, SSG, 5 in the bag still, but 2 players going into this final end of this circle in particular.
I mean, we've seen 2 really big moves. Dignitas and Tempo Storm really trying to just go straight to the center of that circle, and they have just smoke protecting them. So I don't expect this to end well for them, as Space Station, that's D-Master, just locked in on this group, trying to get those kills, but not really able to connect. Meanwhile, Knights just in a great spot, and they've been here almost the whole game in this little compound. And they've had great vision. They were instrumental in when Dignitas made their move. The Knights were instrumental in taking them out, taking some shots at Tempo Storm as well. So maybe this could be the round for Knights, as we're seeing a complete reversal from the first 2 rounds from FaZe and Knights among the first 2 teams out in both rounds. Both first 2 rounds, FaZe and Knights in round number 3, they're still around with 9 teams to go.
M16 in hand, you got the ACOG on top. Lovely long-range weapon if you don't have a sniper rifle or a DMR. FaZe, Method, and Tempo Storm, they all get the edge of the circle. One player did just fall. It's going to be Stab who went down. Thank you very much to the observers in the back, making that one visible. Totality working together as a unit. I like this. They've managed to get themselves in. They will get kept back.
Yeah.
Balok still for Ghost, chilling there. Split off with McCoy. Good shot comes through, pushes Lost back. Again, with a scope on the end of it, you got to be careful. But they're all out the circle. Who's going to make the first move? Balok could be the...
yeah, kind of a tough circle for them.
Yeah.
They have a long way to go, and there's a lot of open space. And
for all these teams, to be fair.
I mean, I think Knights might be, between Knights, Method, and FaZe, I think they're all 3 in pretty good positions here. Optic down to 2, Ghost down to 1, Space Station down to 2, and now we're seeing Totality just charge in. We saw this happen before. Totality not afraid to take a fight. I think the final member of Ghost finally taken out. Actually, there's still one more up.
He's looking for him. He knows the rear. Groza's there. I can hear a grenade being cooked in the back as well. Is that inside? If it is, it's going to be problematic.
Oh, the flank and the teammate support from Totality. We saw Space Station make a move to try to sneak in and disrupt, but at the same time, yeah, I think that was Vexel, but at the same time, Totality covering each other and able to escape a potentially dangerous situation.
Look at how smashed up they are. You've lost helmets, you're going to be losing chest, you're going to be losing life when this circle does come in. It's on the move now, but here comes the hard rotation. Lost HD just wants to get stuck in here, goes in with the bike. So many players inside the circle. Mexi hits the deck, he's dead. Rafi, Method taking out one player from FaZe. 21 players alive, circle moving in. These teams are about to crunch. Yeah, and Knights leaving their compound and staying on the edge of the circle, making their way, slowly towards the center, taking a lot of shots at FaZe as well. So really looking out for the Knights here. Meanwhile, Tempo Storm with 3 up. Method, it looks like, has a full squad. Is Method the only team with a full squad? Maybe Totality as well. Method and Totality, I think. He's seen his helmet. He knows exactly where he is, but he does have the cover of the vehicle. At least 3 members of FaZe. It's more than enough to get the job done. Got to be careful, though, where the Knights are coming in from. I mean, they've got a really nice place. If the circle goes in their favor and goes their way, this Defilade will literally win them the game. This circle, I like this one in particular because it's not fully open. There's a lot of bumps, there's a lot of dips. As you can see from Balok, he's still alive. There's so many different little bumps and hills and Defilades to play off the back of. It's a really, really good circle. Drayden, tap fire with the Scar. Interrogate, he's down, he's dead, he's gone. I think a member of FaZe fell earlier on, we just saw as well. Vexel still outside, healing in the blue. Yeah, Knights really pressuring FaZe. Hax is down. That's not good. And Space Station, by the way, Vexel is not in the zone. And I'm sure his health is waning. So Space Station, our winners of the first 2, might be knocked out. Meanwhile, Knights getting some shots on a Tempo Storm. That's Drayden. He's been all over these frags, just really laying down some nice damage for his team. And Knights looking so good right now, staying in that circle.
And Totality's going to be happy about how the circle kind of panned out, right on top of them, honestly. But, by the way, Space Station, I believe they are down for the count here in round 3. So winners of round 1 and 2.
Oh, my God, that grenade.
That felt like it landed right on
got
him.
it. You got 2 of them.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And 3.
There's
That's
a bounty.
It.
There's a bounty for grenades. Drayden once again showing he's a force to be reckoned with. Voxic as well. Fantastic play here from the Knights, completely wiping out Totality. That's exactly what they're looking for. And now Knights, they're just looking around. They're like, all right, who's next?
I didn't see nothing from Optic. They're still just chilling there.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gatekeeping. Actually, they're literally gatekeeping face here. Fuzz and Jempty just on the top. Jempty trying to look for a pick here. That's the only way they're going to get out of it. Hypoc will just nade out the buildings, try and be a bit of a nuisance. Bowwhacker onto Jempty. Jempty was probably the one that could save this for FaZe if he could at least make a bit of a doorway for Fuzz to get through.
Yeah, I don't know how it happens.
I think they're done now.
I don't know how it happens for FaZe there. Just a tough position.
Look at all of, you can see it on if you look at the little mini map in the corner, all 4 members of Method are literally staring at him.
Yep.
This should be it.
He's between them and where he needs to be. So
Voxic again, these nades.
He needs to find a motorcycle. Voxic taking out 2 from Tempo Storm with those grenades, as you mentioned. One of those was a knockdown. Oh, nope, completely out.
He wiped the team?
Yeah, he wiped him.
So that's twice. All right, Knights living up to the standard now.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying in the pre-show. Look out for these guys.
Now it's time for Method to get a move in, get a wriggle on. All 4 members up. This is nice for Method.
Yeah.
Rafi can also, at least, if you look at him, he's got no helmet on, so they're checking the boxes here so they can get the utility back.
And again, keeping a very close eye on Fuzzface there, who is taking a lot of damage from the gas, and he's going to be out. Not giving any kills to anyone at that moment. So FaZe done. We are down to 3 teams. Optic, Method, and Knights. Method with 4 up, Knights with 3, Optic with 2. Knights focusing on Method right now.
Huge for Knights. I mean, look at the points. 44 coming into
this. They need it.
They absolutely need it.
Is imperative.
And you still got Optic just snaking away.
And you know they're in a great spot in this circle. Let's see where it goes. It's about to move here.
So you'd expect Knights to kind of pressure this one, get up front, get on the edge of the circle,
happy about that,
and deny everybody else access to it. You can,
you
know, they can get, because they're in the circle, they can get the best position.
It's super on purpose because they went kind of towards the middle. They were not being shy about clearing out teams in this area and getting a nice position in that previous zone to really put themselves in this exact position where they are in a great position in this smaller zone.
Given their map movement from the very start of the game, in my opinion, they deserve this win. But you've got to get past Method. Yeah. It all depends how Optic play. If Optic kind of step up and, you know, maybe knock a member or 2 from Method, it causes a problem. It opens a gap in the armor.
You know, Method has to decide right now. I feel like they know what's going on. I think Method knows what's going on as far as almost hitting him with that grenade. Method knows Knights is below them. They know Optic is to the left. I think they have to make a decision. I think they have to decide which way to go. Do you go for Optic, take him out? Do you go for Knights, take him out? I think the longer they wait, the more tricky position.
How many smokes do you have, boy?
That's not one of our bounties, by the way. No smoke rewards.
All right, kicking off in the background. Time to do some work. Everyone's got to move now. Circles crunching in on the back lines. You'll see Method making the advancement. They split off into 2 packs. Slowly. I like this move, but unfortunately, Molman, who becomes the first victim, they trade off with Optic. This is what he said about the third pack system in the back.
Oh, what a great position there for Voxic. Taking out Rafi. Drayden helping out with that as well. But Optic coming in, trying to take down Method, but Method returning fire, and Optic, I think, have been eclipsed. Yeah, they're both down.
So from having 4 alive, Method are literally down to 2 players. So it's the 2 versus 3. 13 kills in the back here.
Thank Optic a little for that.
You would expect Kramer maybe to have level 3 gear as well. If he's got the AUG, he's definitely been near a crit, unless he picks it up off a body.
Shots.
Andy Pyro spots 1. The tap fire comes, but it's Voxic on the left-hand side. He'll get knocked.
Great reaction.
It's
he's got a cover.
The corner.
Oh, what a cover. And that's it. Knights able to pull it off. Kramer, Voxic, through to the end. Voxic, maybe a little bit of a distraction there. Voxic distracting, getting knocked out, but then able to finish it out. And look at all those kills. Knights showing why they are qualified for our Berlin tournament here in a couple weeks. And now they get first place here. Chicken dinner for the Knights here in round number 3.